Hello, Gun Nation. All right. Hopefully, y'all can see and hear me. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off a little earlier. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Pistol Pete gave me a thumbs up. And I have to start early because Pistol Pete said so, and I don't want to make him mad. He's a longtime family member, so I appreciate all y'all showing up. Let's see here. All right. Hello, IBG. All right, I'll do a quick roll call. We got Dan. He came in first, but for some reason, it actually erased his comment. Scott, and we got Frank, Anthony, Pistol Pete, IBG. All right, we'll call some other ones as they come in. But yeah, I've got some interesting topics to talk about tonight, and I want to get some of y'all's opinions. Hey, what's up, Manny Things? Brian T, CZ Shadow 2. I love that name because I love that gun. But yeah, I've got some interesting topics to talk about tonight. It's kind of related to the gun industry and some things that are going on and some things that I'm thinking about. And also, I don't know if y'all heard, Texas. Now, I'm not in Texas this week. I wish I was, but they have no more mask. So our governor released a thing that said no more masks are required. And of course, every business, and I don't really know of any businesses that were actually closed in Texas. There could have been some, but it's 100% open. You know, that's what he released. So I'm glad to hear that. That happened yesterday, early afternoon. So I got the breaking news, put it up on the YouTube community to let everybody know. Hey, what's up, Links Defense? How's the hotel? This is actually a brand new hotel, but watch this. Brand new hotel. I'll hold one hand up, and I'm just going to take my finger, and I can wiggle this brand new desk. So it feels like I'm in an earthquake. So if I move my arms, the camera moves and everything. It's crazy. But yeah, so no more masks. So I wanted to know what y'all's opinion are about that. I think you know mine, but I want to get y'all's opinion. Hello, Kathleen. How are you? But so, and actually where I am in Kansas this week. And just so y'all know, KS Gun Guy and I were actually going to try to get together and have dinner, an early dinner before the chat. I got tied up with work. He got tied up with work, so we couldn't make it happen. So, and I'm like 5 miles from him, if that. So it just didn't work out this evening. But, there'll be another time. So, hey, Texas, Eskimos. Okay. Hello, Peter K. Yeah, so Texas has no more masks. So what's y'all's opinion on that? Should everybody wear a mask? Do y'all think they're useful? I'm not going to beat anybody up. I'm just, wanting to know y'all's opinion. TTO Clark, hello, how are you? Let's go back to old normal. I'm ready. Yeah, I hear you. That's why I'm at. I mean, if you want to know my opinion, some people, hello, Lynn. Some people have asked my opinion on that mask situation, and I think it should have been, if you feel you want to wear a mask, you can wear a mask. But to be forced to wear a mask or arrested or fined or whatever, so be it. Because if I don't wear a mask, I walk into a store and everybody wants to wear their mask, that's fine. If they're protected with their mask, how am I going to affect them? Me wearing a mask, them wearing a mask, as long as I'm 6 feet away, whatever. So that's just my opinion. And does the mask actually even really work? But, if they really wanted it to work, they'd have everybody in hazmat suits and true respirators. That's just my opinion. Yes, we are a free state, but as we've all seen from the voting, it's trying to turn. It's trying to turn purple and, blue. So all the, I don't mind that people come to Texas as long as they don't bring their beliefs. Keep Texas, Texas. We don't need to California up my Texas or New York up my Texas or our Texas. Yeah, A-Dubs is saying the mask is a security blanket. It says on the package it doesn't work. Yeah, I know. And that's what I think. Like I said, I'm not beating up anybody about it if they want to wear a mask or if they are, susceptible, like, they have asthma, they have, breathing issues, things like that. I mean, by all means, protect yourself, but don't penalize the healthy. I've never seen, put I've never seen penalizing healthy people. So, hello, Cajun Tiger. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Neil is saying distance is more important than the mask, I think. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not up mugging on somebody or whatever, keep your distance and do what you want to do. But anyway, so Texas has no more mask. It just passed yesterday, and everything's open. But I just I had some questions that people have been asking me. And since I don't do Instagram anymore, they're just going to videos, like different videos, and leaving a bunch of questions, but it has nothing to do with the video. They're just saying, hey, you don't do Instagram anymore, so this is the only way I can contact you. And I kind of talked about it last week on the Walther PDP. I've had a bunch of people ask if I'm going to buy one. Talked about it on the chat last week. I personally am not going to buy one. I put my hands on one, the full-size one with the full-size grip. Kind of played around with it, dry fired it, checked it all out. And it's a fine gun. I don't have any, qualms about it, but it's just not for me. And I'm not going to buy a gun just to do a video. I'm not that guy. So that was one of the questions that I have been asked numerous times. And if you're looking for a Walther, hey, it might be a great gun. I haven't shot it, so I don't know. Has 17 stopped doing chats? Man, they're just busy, with family and work and everything else. So I'm just keeping it rolling. Hey, Keenan, how are you, man? Let's see here. Kelvin is saying, man, the masks do work. How many times do you guys want to go around this merry-go-round? Hey, Kelvin, like I said, it's an open opinion. Everybody has a voice. So you can use your opinion. We use our opinion. We can all still get along. I'm not, like I said, I'm not throwing out any hate here. I'm just giving my opinion. I was kind of in a little bit of that business back in the day, or not too long ago. And I still buy some of those products I won't get into it, but like a cloth mask and things like that, that's not going to work. It doesn't work just putting a piece of, cotton over your face. And they're trying to stop the particles. I understand that. However, viruses can be penetrated through all that. Plus, if you mouth breathe in it all the time, you're getting it wet. It's more susceptible to viruses sticking to it. So, if you look and you can, what's really funny is there's been people that are vaping, and I'm not a vapor, but they'll take a big hit. They'll put on all these different masks and blow right through it. So if you can blow right through it, and if you can blow out a candle, it ain't working. So if you need a real one, get a respirator, and that one is real. So piece of plastic or a piece of paper or cotton, that's not what it's about. Like I said, Kelvin, do a little more research. Most of the masks that you're using will not actually work. So don't believe everything you hear. Pistol Pete is saying, work the trigger just dropped a video on the PDP. He thinks the plate system for the optic has some flaws. Yeah, I mean, maybe it does. Like I said, I haven't checked into it that deep, so I don't know. People were just asking why I haven't bought one, and I'm just letting you know. Hello, Mike. How are you? All right. Let's see here. IBG is saying PDP looks cool, but I'll tell you what, held a FN 509 today. If they had that thing in stock with the gray frame, I would have been in trouble with the wife today. Yeah, I mean, I've got a 509. I love mine. I've been an FN fan for a long time. I own multiple FNs pistols, and I really do like them. Hey, what's up, Red October? How are you, man? Another Texas brother here today. Let's see here. He says he, hello, amigos, went to Bass Pro today. Lots of shotguns. That's good. Shotguns are definitely fun. Scott's saying he's got his eyes on a Beretta 92X. Yeah, that's a nice gun. I shot it. I shot KS's back a while ago. It is a very nice gun. If you have small hands, if you have smaller hands, it's a pretty thick frame. But, it's nothing that most people couldn't shoot. I was kind of comparing it to my Shadow 2. I still prefer the ergonomics of the Shadow 2, but, I'm just a CZ guy, and I'm not knocking a Beretta. I've shot 92s way back when, but they make a good gun. Big Johnson, have you shot the steel frame Walther? I actually have not shot the Q4. I've shot a Q5, but I have not shot like the Q4. And I have played with it's a limited edition Walther. It's like $1,500. Has all this scrolled etching and stuff on it. I played with one of those and put some pictures up back a while ago on that YouTube community thing. It's a nice gun, but $1,500 for a steel Walther is kind of expensive. Scott said, I picked up an AR 180B last weekend. I'm not familiar with the AR 180B. I probably am. I just don't recognize the name. Hoping for a double stack. I want to shoot the P10F in 45. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big seller. I love the P10F. It's a great gun. And of course, I do love 45. I'm kind of an old school guy too, and got many 45s. All right, let's see here. Big J, I finally found some 9mm at my gun shop for $19.95 for a box of 50. Hey, that's not bad. That's actually pretty good for a local gun shop. So good deal. I am hearing, now this is just hearing, I'm hearing in some areas 9mm is starting to come back. It's not super, super cheap, but I am hearing that it's starting to come in more often. So I don't know if that's a sign of maybe we're going to get some ammo back or not. I don't know, and I don't want to say that yet. I don't want to jinx it if it is going to happen. Let's see here. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, Kyle is asking, what do you think Beretta will come out with to replace the APX line? It's going to be hard to say. Beretta, they've kind of been behind the 8-ball, in my opinion, on a lot of striker fire guns. Double action, single action, they make some great guns, but striker fire, I don't know. It could be another version of that, maybe optic ready, but without the big monster serrations. They just need to bring the bore axis down. They need to do some things to make it, and I'm not saying it's a bad gun. I've played around with one. The trigger, I'm not real crazy about the super wide trigger. It's not a bad trigger. They're just known, Beretta's always been known for like their shotguns and, other things. They're not known for, and of course they're 92s, but they're not known for striker fire market. So a lot of people don't look for Beretta for a strictly striker fire gun. So I think that's their big boogaboo right there. And they have no aftermarket support for them. If they would make a gun that would have like Glock sight compatibility, some things like that, that would be a good thing for them. I think that they kind of need to go back to the drawing board. Slide stop. Big Johnson Guns and Gear, horror stories of taking out the slide stop on the PPQ to break it down. I took mine down and I never broke anything. So, I guess once you do it a couple of times, it's not that big of a deal. Probably the first time, I watched a video to do it. So, but that was a long time ago. Am I short IG? I don't know what that means. ZZ, should have done this a long time ago. Yeah, and that's what I was saying, Scott. They just don't market to the striker fire. They just don't market to the people. They are known for their shotguns. They make some awesome shotguns. My area 10mm is less like 9mm. Taking the slide stop out of the pistol. I broke the pistol all the way down, the PPQ. But I watched a video and did it. But I don't know. I only think I took it down one time. But anyway, some other questions I had. For one, I want to get y'all's opinion. In the past, I kind of was like, it's not for me. and we have a local store. I went in and kind of looked around, did some things, and I'm just like, man, I've got real guns. I've got plenty of them. So don't really want to get in. I'm going to use the word airsoft. So this is the first time y'all have probably ever heard me talk about that. So, back a long time ago, I was like, I'm not really an airsoft guy. Didn't really know that much about it and stuff. Well, this past weekend, it was late. I was kind of bored, and some video popped up on my feed, and they were talking about airsoft. So I watched it, and it was actually pretty cool. Especially with the ammo crunch that we're having now, dry fire. And of course, you can do tons of dry fire. You can do lasers. You can do, the Mantis X. I highly recommend the Mantis X. I use it all the time. Matter of fact, I have something new coming from them. But I've done a lot of that kind of stuff. But you're actually not, you can shoot BB guns and things like that. But I've been kind of going down this airsoft rabbit hole. And I wanted to know if y'all personally do airsoft or have an airsoft gun, and they have them all the way from like $100 all the way up to $3,000 for an airsoft gun. But I was thinking, I do a lot of PDWs, 300 blackout, 223, 556, shorties and stuff like that. And I was like, I was thinking it kind of be fun to maybe have a, airsoft PDW type or SBR type to kind of, do transitions, from your pistol, to, an airsoft or something like that, get a lot of trigger time. And does it have the exact recoil? Heck no, it doesn't. And some of them are kind of chintzy. They're kind of plasticky and cheap. And then they have some that are higher end, where they're actually all aluminum. So I didn't know if y'all had played a lot with them. So I really would love to hear if y'all do or have. I think that's going to be, something I might look into. Just curious, and matter of fact, I'll say this. What kind of spurred it off was I was watching a video that Lucas from T-Rex Arms put out. And some people don't like T-Rex. Some people say, oh, he's this or he's that or whatever. Well, I'll tell you what he is. He's actually a very smart business person. I'm in business too. And, I look at the way he strategizes and kind of sets up stuff. And he's actually very smart. So he's not a dumb person at all when it comes to business. And anyway, I watched this video, and it was actually very entertaining. And it's about military guys, LE and stuff, and they were kind of training with some airsoft, and they went to realistic areas, like buildings. It looked like an underground subway, and it was kind of one team versus another team. And I just thought it was very interesting. The video is very well done, very well spoken, very well edited. It was just very entertaining. So if y'all haven't checked it out and you're interested in it, check it out. But what he's saying is, as a community, and it kind of struck home, what he's saying is, as a community, we are gun people. We're gun people. But we have younger generations that are doing airsoft, and some might make fun of them. However, that's our future 2A people coming to our side. So they're going to graduate from, airsoft, paintball, whatever, into firearms. So we should kind of open our arms up to them, because I've been watching some of these videos, and some of these kids are running real gear. I'm not the airsoft. I'm not talking about the gun and real bullets, but they're running like cry pants. They're running like real, chest. Of course, they have like plastic plates in there. They're not running real plates, but they've got the real gear. Some of it is, airsoft quality. But I've seen some where they've got like Lancer vest. They've got, Blue Force gear. They've got high-tech stuff, like we all have. And, they're spending the money on that. So to bring them over to our side, it can only benefit us. So that's kind of what I was getting to. Didn't know if y'all had seen that or played around with it or whatever. But I'll grab some questions while we're waiting for y'all to talk about airsoft if you're interested. Let's see here. Okay, let me catch back up here. Okay. I don't know if the APX is being discontinued or not. I just never see them anymore. Yeah, and this is, a lot of people have asked my opinion too about Colt or CZ buying Colt. Was that a bad thing or whatever? And actually, I think it's a good thing, because Colt is a a really big name. It's been in the past. Now, granted, Colt stuck their foot in their mouth when they're like, we're not going to sell to civilians. That was stupid, and it pissed me off. That's why I never bought any more Colt products. However, to keep the name alive, I think it's a good thing to pick up the military contracts, to pick up the, to keep that going. I think that's a good thing. And I think CZ, can maybe offer other lines in the States. So I don't think it's a bad thing. Some people might disagree with that, but okay. A-Dubs has an interesting question. BigJohnson Guns and Gear, what's your favorite handgun caliber that never really caught on? Wow. My favorite caliber, is 9 and 45, honestly. 10 millimeter, it's been up and down for years. I remember way back when 10 millimeter had a big old boom and then it crashed. It kind of did like 40. 40 was the thing back in the day, and it's kind of gone up and down. And I've shot 10 millimeter, I've shot 40, I've done all that, but there's really not a handgun caliber. I mean, I've shot 5.7, trying to think, 22 mag. I mean, you name it, I've probably shot it, but that's a tough question. I can't really think of one because I don't really have a favorite. I mean, my favorites are still here. So I don't know. Let me think about that. If I think of something, maybe I'll throw it up, but I can't really think of anything right now. I have a Daisy 881. It's very tactical too. That's cool. I don't know that much about that stuff, but what about slingshots? I actually do have a wrist rocket. I used to show it on Instagram. It's a high tech wrist rocket. So, and that's no joke. I've actually shot ball bearings with it, and it can get pretty crazy. I froze for a second. It can get, you can shoot a ball bearing through a damn car door with a wrist rocket. Those little cheesy slingshots, those are for little kids. You got to get you a wrist rocket if you're going to tear up some stuff. 22 TCM. I have shot that before, but honestly, I've shot the 17 HMR. I've never owned them. I've just shot them. I don't really care that much about 22 TCM, to be honest with you. I think that's that Arms Corps brand, and that's what I shot. Well, actually, Lynn, that's pretty funny that you said that. 357 SIG. I do actually like 357 SIG. It's actually a great round. So yeah, that could be the round that he was asking about earlier. It is a really good round. It's just, it has kind of faded away. I didn't shoot it a lot, but I did shoot it. Heck, I still think I have maybe a couple of hundred rounds of it. The one that the Martian uses in Bugs Bunny cartoons. That's pretty funny, Big Al. That's pretty funny. What was his name? Marvin? I think his name was Marvin. Marvin the Martian. Okay, it's the cradle to the grave concept and retail, gamers to airsoft to real firearms. Yeah. I mean, if we can get even 60% of them, that couldn't be a bad thing. Let's see here. Big J, try any 9x23 Winchester. I think Wynn and Underwood were the only ones producing it before the Rona. No, I have not shot that A-Dubs. I have not. So, yes, I've shot Tokarov. I never really cared for it. I mean, they're kind of cool guns, but, yeah, Kyla, I totally agree with you. The weird one that nobody cares for is the 45 gap. That is a very weird round. Matter of fact, I mean, I'll see boxes of that stuff periodically, just like in weird places, but it definitely never took off. Oh yeah, 357 is good. It will definitely take down what you need to take down. All right, so we got that out of the way. So I didn't really get a lot of feedback from the airsoft stuff. So maybe y'all don't do it or have any interest in it, and that's not a big deal. I was just curious if anybody did. Let's see here. Okay, and this is another question I get a lot. And in the meantime, let me ask this question: what would y'all like to see on the channel? Gun review, more guns, more gear, more whatever, holsters, grips, whatever you can think of. Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind and throw it out. But one question I get all the time, and I even talked about this last week on the chat, and I still got more questions, is why don't you test this gear? Why don't you test this gun? Why don't you do this? Why don't you buy this to test this? Or why don't you get this to test this? And it's usually a particular gun or a particular piece of gear or something like that. And like I've said before, I don't buy stuff or get stuff just to test it and have no intention of using it afterwards. If I'm going to accept it from someone, like if they want to send it in for testing, it has to be something that I'm really, really interested in, something that if it proves to be good, that I would truly actually use it. I don't just want a bunch of gear laying around. Matter of fact, I've done that way, way back when I first started YouTube. I would get a bunch of gear. People would just send it in, I would test it and, carry it, do different things with it. And then honestly, what I would do is I would give it away because I just don't want to, hoard all that stuff. But I was giving it to people that said they would actually use it. So, that's kind of why I don't just buy stuff for a review, and I'm not knocking people that do that, but some people will buy the hottest new gun or what they think is going to be the hottest new gun or, the most budget friendly gun, and they'll test it. And that's just not what I'm about. So I'm not knocking people who do it. That's just not what I'm based on. I want to be based on what I believe in or what I really use and what I want to bring value to you, saying, I use this, I test this, I've tested it for this long and it works. Matter of fact, I'm testing two things right now that I've been testing now for one for probably 2.5 months and another one for now, I think over a month. So I'll be doing some honest, truly reviews on it, using it every day, carrying it every day, things like that. So that's what's going to be coming. I don't just want to get something, do a little review on it, and then put it to the side. I really, really want to test stuff. I'm kind of a long testing guy. Hello, Paul H. Hello, Bald and Curious. All right, I know I missed some. Let's see here. So let me know if there's anything in particular that I either have that you want to re-review on it or want to know my opinion on it, since I've had it so long and that I've used it so long. Throw some stuff out there and and let me know what you think. Do a 1776 video. Just tell everyone you sold your CZs and do a what's in the box all over again. Yeah, if y'all follow me, and obviously Pistol Pete's been following me forever, but I should do what's in the box videos. I'd be like, throw up a short video and say, hey, I got this box. What's in the box? And have people guess. And a lot of people loved it. They would, I would get like 500 comments of here's what it is. Here's what it is. And then when I would open the box, if somebody guessed it correctly, I would give them credit, and say, hey, so-and-so guessed it correctly. People used to get a kick out of that. And then I had a lot of people, just open the damn box. We don't want, to wait. We want to see what it is right now. So, some people loved it. Some people hated it. And honestly, I just kind of got tired of doing them. That's why I haven't done any. But I might bring them back. Who knows? Oh, boy, Big Al. Okay, Big Al wins. Test out the 2018 Stormy Daniels. Just tell us you're no Hickok. Yeah, I'm definitely not a sellout. Hello, Wild Bill, Mr. TB9, Wiley Guns, and that's what Wiley Guns is saying. That's why I like the channel. It's nice to see what someone actually wants versus some manufacturer sends you. Yeah, and I'll be real honest with you. I have people reach out to me all the time. Now, some of them are in third world countries, which I don't give a damn about. But I have some USA made products, and they'll email me and say, hey, we want to send you this and, have you test it out and stuff. And I'll tell them straight up front, I'll say, let me check on your product or whatever, and I'll do some research on it. And I'll actually email them back and say, that's not a product I'm interested in. So, or I don't do that on my channel. I've been approached by tactical clothing, all kinds of other stuff. I'm not a tactical guy. I mean, I've got some camo stuff, I wear when I hunt and stuff like that, but I'm just, I don't want to be a pretender. I just want to be me, from a normal guy. And, if it's something that I'm truly interested in, I might have them send it in and I'll check it out. And there's a lot of stuff I buy. I mean, I don't get tons of stuff sent in, but I'll actually buy it. If I'm truly interested in it, I'll test it and let you know what I think. Kyle is saying, I did airsoft for a while, but green gas isn't cheap, and the cost of the quality steel geared electric guns cost as much as entry level 5.56 AR-15 or AR. Yeah, and that's what I've been checking on, and they're not cheap. I mean, I've seen some of the electric guns for $450, and all these different prices. And the green gas, when you do a bunch of green gas, you're doing a lot of shooting. Now the BBs I think are kind of cheap, but one of the things that I kind of checked into is there's a thing that you screw on the end of your airsoft rifle or SBR, and it looks like a little suppressor. And you take the little suppressor cover off, your end cap, and you charge it with a USB plug. And once it's charged, you screw the end cap back on, you screw it on your SBR or your rifle, and then you buy, the BBs, but I think you have to use the yellow ones, or the little clearish yellow ones. And when you shoot it and the BB passes through it, it hits it with an ultraviolet light. So what it does, it actually charges the BBs, and they come out like tracers. I mean, you should watch these videos. It's crazy. When you put it on auto, it actually looks straight like a maul, like a laser, because they're coming out so fast. And then when you do burst, you can actually see them just flying like 40 yards away. It's pretty crazy. And then when they hit the ground, I think they glow for a little bit and then they discharge. But it was actually pretty cool. I was like, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. Okay. IBG is asking, does anyone have a CZ 457 MTR 22? What do you think of its performance? I don't. Matter of fact, I've shot a CZ 455. It wasn't the 457. It was the 455, I believe. It wasn't my gun. It was a buddy of mine's, and it was a nice gun, but I don't have any experience on the rest. Bald is saying, can you send me something to review? I'll send you my truck. Do you want my truck? Or you can review my house. I'll send you my house. Bald saying, nobody sends me crap. I'm getting rid of guns and doing construction equipment reviews from now on. Hey, there's a lot of construction reviews that do really well. Matter of fact, that's what I was looking at, these airsoft things. Some of these bigger guys, I think there's one called Hooligan or something like that. But he's actually a really clean young kid. I think he's got like 1.9 million subscribers, and he's never shown his face. He always has his garb on when he shoots. But there's some other people in airsoft that have like 3.5 million subscribers. So, I mean, I think it's cool, and some of these guys, or a lot of these people, don't cuss, so it's very family friendly. And like I said, if you can get a young person into airsoft and then move them over into firearms, that's not a bad thing. Big Al is saying, that's why we enjoy your channel. You don't owe anyone. Honesty makes a big difference. So I appreciate that, Big Al. I appreciate all of y'all. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for y'all. So I appreciate y'all so much. Okay, Big J, have you done a comparison between the Filster, Harry's, or LAS AI WB rigs before? A-dubs, just keep that, and that's a very good question, because yes, it is happening. So just plan, just so you know, that's some of the stuff I've been testing. So just so you know. But save that question and then watch the review. Hey, Pistol Pete, I appreciate that. Yeah, if y'all, if y'all enjoy what I'm doing and stuff like that, definitely hit the thumbs up. It really I appreciate y'all. It helps with the algorithms. I want to get the word out what we're doing. Get the word out what we're doing. Sorry, I guess it's buffering a little bit. That's the great thing about hotel internet. I'm even plugged into the damn wall. So, yeah, Will and Willed Arm is saying he has a big Turkish following because he's done so many SAR videos. I've got 2 SAR requests this week. Yeah, that's cool. I have a big Czech following with all the CZ videos that I've done. I have a huge Czech following. I have a huge Canadian following. Of course, American is the biggest and best, but also, I think it's Taiwan. I have a big Taiwan following, I guess because of the guns. A lot of people, and I get this all the time, people will come on and they'll watch like one of my AR pistol videos or the 300 blackout video, and they're like, that's a really cool airsoft gun. I'm like, well, it's not airsoft, it's actually real. And then they're like, oh, cool. And then one of them, I think on 15 different videos, he was like, great airsoft collection, great airsoft collection. He just kept saying that. So after that, I was just like, okay, whatever. Hello, Indy Irish. How are you, sir? Okay. Ooh, IBG's hitting me with the good stuff. IBG is saying, if you could only choose one of the following calibers, would you choose 6.5 Creedmoor or 308? I think IBG knows my answer, but it would be 308. Not saying 6.5 is bad, but 308, is NATO. You can find it pretty much anywhere. It's been around forever. And, I'm not the guy that's normally going to shoot 1,000 yards. I mean, I have done it. The longest I've ever shot, and even prior to that, was like 500 yards. And then I took it out to 12, I think it was 1,250 yards. I've got a video on it, and it was with a 338 Lapua, a buddy of mine's. So that's my record now, is 1,250 yards with 3 consecutive hits. After that, we went up to 1,700 yards, and I was all around the damn thing. But it was so freaking windy, and you can watch the video. The trees are just flying everywhere. I couldn't hit it at 1,700 and something yards. So it's 1,250, but you're not going to take a 3.0. I mean, you can, but it's going to be dropping like a rock. And I don't think it'll ever get out there probably. I know people could do it, but you can take a 308 to 1,000 yards, not as easily as a 6.5. But the 308, at your average ranges, it's going to have more thump, because you can shoot still targets, and I've done it. I've shot at 800 yards. I shot my buddy 6.5, and of course it'll hit, boom. But when it hits with a 308, you get a lot more movement. So, heavier bullet, a little more thump, and I love 308. I've been shooting 308. I own many of them. I'm just a 308 fan, but I'm also old school. A lot of guys are into 6.5, 6 Creedmoor, all these things. And 308 rifles are getting harder to find. 6.5 is definitely getting easier to find. But when I go into a store now, even with the ammo shortage, the 6.5 is gone. They might have a couple of boxes, but 308 is still there. It could be the 150 grain or even the 147 grain, just the cheap stuff. But you put 168 boat tail hollow point or something, 308, it's got some thump, especially if it's a defensive round. And I've killed some pigs with 308, and you can rock them pretty good. They're generally 6mm BBs, but have different grain weights. Okay. Yeah, let's see here, Pistol Pete. I want to try out the Hollow Sun 507 C ACSS Vulcan. Yes. Matter of fact, I've been on the list to get one with Primary Arms, but they're on international galactic back order. So as soon as they come off of, I guess, back order, and they're relatively all around, they're going to send me one. Yeah, 6.5 is fun, especially with subs. Yeah, I haven't shot a 6.5 with subs. I've only shot a 6.5 with the what is it, the the Hornady match. That's the only thing I've shot out of the 6.5 because it wasn't my 6.5. Yeah, Wally, that's who was gonna send. That's who was doing it. Where is it? Well, that was just here. Oh, there it is, right here. Okay, saw the Aero Precision EPC 9 look great, but haven't seen anything available regardless of caliber, or haven't seen anything available regardless of caliber available out of stock. Yeah. PCCs are super fun. I mean, they are a lot of fun. If you have, if you've ever played around with one, the only thing is they eat a ton of ammo, and you got to have a bunch of ammo to keep them fed. So, but let's see here if there's anything. Oh, and so far this week, in 3 days, I've driven 700 miles. Whew, a lot of driving, but got to get it done. So. Yeah, the Holosun 407 CO with the 8 MOA circle only. The one that has it is a circle, but it's not solid. Humble Marksman has that one, and I've played around with it before. The only thing is I do have astigmatism in both eyes. So when I get a big dot without my glasses, it actually makes it bigger. So when I shoot a 2 MOA dot, it's small, but it seems a little larger to me because of my astigmatism. And if I want to even make it bigger, I can actually turn up the brightness and it'll bloom. That's really not the way you want to shoot a red dot, though. You want to shoot it as dim as possible for your most accuracy. But you can turn it up. But that's the neat thing about Holosun is you've got the 3 reticle option. The 32 MOA circle or the 32 MOA circle with the dot, or just the single dot. Now, if you're in the 407 series, you only get the 1 dot. But it just depends on what you're looking for, things like that. So, but yeah, they're good dots. Let's see here. Where did it go? Josh is asking, have you carried your Staccato C2? Oh, hell yeah, I've carried it. I've been carrying it for a month and a half. So I have definitely been carrying it. Yes, and Kali, you're exactly right. There's a reason why the U.S. military still uses 308 in Scout Sniper applications. Yeah, and that's another thing. I don't base my calibers. I mean, it is good because they're NATO. You can find them pretty much anywhere. But I really don't base a lot of my calibers on the military. However, that is the thing, and the military and special applications and stuff, they've already adopted the 6.5 Creedmoor. So, matter of fact, oh gosh, what's that new round? 6.8. I think they're even adopting some of the 6.8, which is cool. I think that's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm really actually liking the Staccato C2. It's a great gun. So far, I think I have 900. I've got it written down at home, but I want to say it's a tad over 900 rounds. And I've only had that one issue that I talked about before, where I put the mag in, I racked it. I don't think I short stroked it. I might have, but I don't think I did. And it did not pick up a round. So in 900-ish plus rounds, that's the only thing that's happened. So I haven't had, other than that, and that was from the first part of the mag insertion and then racking it, it did not pick up that one round. So I don't know if that could have been something I did. I don't know, but I was at the range. And of course, if I'm ever defensive carrying it, I'm putting the mag in it, I'm racking it, and then, I might press check it, or you can look through the little gap and you can see the brass in the chamber or, into the barrel. So, kind of like you can with the little window on a Glock. So, also, what's y'all's opinion? since we're, talking about PDWs and stuff like that, or we were talking about it earlier, what's your opinion, a red dot or an LPVO? Just curious. So are you an LPVO person or a red dot person, or maybe a red dot and a magnifier person? Let me know. I always like asking stuff like that because I use them all. I've got LPVOs, 1:6s, razors, HDs. I've got magnifiers. I've got some aim points. I've got the Razor Huey version 2, the Gen 2. I've got some SIG Romeos. The 4T, I think is what it is, 4 Tactical. And then I've got the SIG Romeo, what is it, the 5? Just curious. All right. Josh is saying, your videos were the reason I ended up buying the Staccato C2. Oh, cool, Josh. I appreciate it, man. What do you think about your C2, Josh? If you shot it or if you spent time with it yet, what do you think about yours? Are you happy with your purchase? Do you like it, not like it? I would definitely like to hear. Brian T is saying red dot. PCC red dot only. Pistol Pete saying green dot. I've looked through green dots and I do like them, but I haven't owned one yet. I keep waiting for Holosun to get a bunch of the green dots out, and they had one time at Texas Gun Experience, and I didn't buy it. I probably should have bought it. Red dot. Josh is saying red dot all the way. What light do you carry? I've got that coming up in the video. I'm going to go over it in detail and why I like it. So I don't want to say it yet, IBG, but there is a there is a light on it. So, and you probably can guess from some of my older videos which light it is, and which lights I really, really like. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the C2 Duo, and I don't know if y'all know this, anybody interested in the Staccatos, but the the Staccato line is actually having a price decrease. I talked about it last week. They're actually lowering the prices on them, maybe even to get more people to buy them. But that's a good thing. Matter of fact, the one that I saw was $200 cheaper than mine. I can't remember who it was, but somebody was telling me that it's not coming with the plate anymore. But, let's see here. Red dot. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. Here we got. Wiley saying red dot. Pistols go with red dot. Holosun 5-tune and rifle LPVO primary arms 1:6 ACSS. Okay. Yeah, and I've got some of the primary arms. I've got the 1:6, and I've got I have another primary arms too. I can't remember what it is. It's one of their bigger ones. But I'm really a huge fan of the Razor, the Vortex razors. The glass in them is just awesome. I mean, you can definitely tell the difference, and I'm not knocking primary arms, but when you're looking at their base scopes and then you go to a Razor, it's night and day. I've got a Razor on my 308 also. It's the Vortex Razor AMG, and it's a super great scope. Not cheap, but good. And I don't know if y'all have ever tried these. This is the Smart Water, and I didn't know this. I thought it was lemon, but it's pineapple and kiwi. Well, they had some two for $2 or whatever, so I bought a yellow one and a red one. I thought it was strawberry and lemon. The other one was strawberry and blackberry mixed together. It smelled, you took the cap off, I couldn't even stand the smell of it. It smelled like dirty feet. It was horrible smell. So I basically tried to close my nose and drink it, and it tasted like ass. This one's not that bad, but that other one, I had to throw it away. It was horrible. All right. A-dubs, dot or fixed etched with IR. Okay, cool. AR9 with red dot. Josh is saying, I absolutely love the Staccato 2. The low recoil and amazing trigger make the gun worth the money. It might replace my Glock for shit hit the fan. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing about, and I've always said this, and I'll continue to say this, I own 2 Glocks. I'm not the biggest Glock fan. However, I do like the 2 that I have. The thing with shit hit the fan is you're always going to find Glock mags. laying around. You're going to find Glock parts. If something really, really went bad, you're not going to find staccato mags and staccato parts laying around. I will say this, Josh, when you put the flat face aluminum trigger in it, I like it even more than the factory trigger. John is saying Swamp Fox on EDC, SRO on Cop Gun. Yeah, cool. I actually run my SRO on my Staccato C2 Duo. Don't buy the yellow one. Oh, the yellow dot. Yeah, or the gold or whatever. I've seen those, but I haven't. I mean, I know they make it, but I just haven't seen one in person. Green Hollow Sun 510 on his Tipman. Cool. Yeah, the 510 is a good dot. I really like the 512, but you can't ever find them. I had one on order for like 5 months. Matter of fact, I ordered it and forgot about it. I forgot that I even ordered it. And they sent me a thing and said, hey, it's been 5 months and we still haven't got it. Do you still want to keep the order? And I was like, no, just refund me. And whenever it comes out, I'll grab it or whatever. Because I wanted to compare it to the AMG, or excuse me, to the Huey Gen 2. And I haven't ever been able to find a 512 in stock. Oh, here we go. Does the water make you smarter? I don't think so. How do you know what ass tastes like? Never know. But yeah, this one's not that bad, but the other one was horrible. Yeah, I saw that IBG. Yeah, it was Blazer Brass for $900. Whew. Yep. Hello, Floridian. How are you? But yeah, we've got about 10 minutes left. So if you've got any questions or comments or anything like that, anything that you're interested in, trying to get your hands on, anything you're seeing out there that interests you, I would love to hear it. What do y'all think of the that little Taurus 22 competition? Anybody interested in that? I think it looks kind of cool, where you could put the dot on the actual barrel. Didn't know if anybody was interested in something like that. I've shot a TX-22. It was one of the first ones that came out. It was a guy at the range. He wanted to shoot my gun, and so I, of course, let him shoot it. And he's like, hey, you can shoot this one. And it was a little Taurus TX-22. I had never really shot one before. And I shot it. It seemed pretty nice and pretty accurate. But Taurus looks awesome. Yeah, I think it does. I think it looks kind of cool. Let's see here. Lynn is asking, do you have a number of mags for each pistol? I am at a minimum. I have 6. I am assuming 6 for each pistol. Lynn, I would say that is a minimum. I usually have more than that, especially for pistols that I use a lot, like my Glocks. I've got, gosh, I don't even know how many Glock mags I have, but I have a bunch of them. ARs, I've got tons of mags for those, and 300 Blackout. For pistols, and this is just me, I usually have about 8 to 10 because the first thing that's usually going to fail is going to be a mag. Not that it's going to break, but your your spring could wear out, things like that. And sometimes they're hard to find, like now. For some particular pistols, they're hard to find. Some they're not. But I do keep a lot of mags because also, like when I go to the range, I'll load them all up. I'll have all of them loaded and just throw them in the bag. So that way I'm not at the range just spending a lot of time loading. I'm practicing shooting. I don't want to be at the range for 3 hours loading mags. So, all right, LPVO and first focal plane or second focal plane, what works for you? Honestly, I'm a first focal plane guy. I don't really like it how it, can get smaller and bigger and all that other, or, how it, I can't remember the exact terminology, but most of them that I have are the first focal plane. I think it's kind of less messing with my brain, and that's more what I'm used to. I'm not saying either or bad or good. I'm just saying that's what I'm more used to. So I try to stay with first focal plane personally, but use what works for you. By any whatever works for you works. Bald, I don't think you could ever be accused of being from North Carolina or Tennessee. Yeah, some of the Taurus stuff I'm seeing, is looking better. It's just as far as the hardcore reliability, if you were to beat it up and stuff, would it make it? I don't know. I'm not saying they're bad guns. I just really don't mess with them that much. What is my number one carry gun right now? It is the Staccato C2 Duo and the CZ P10C with the comp. Those are my two number one carries right now, and I've been carrying them for quite a while. Well, put it this way, the Staccato I've been carrying for, I guess, a little over a month. I put all those rounds through it, made sure it was going to work, and that's what I've been carrying the most recently. But, and that's the thing about me. I do rotate carry guns. I know some people just get a Glock 19 and they only carry a Glock 19 every single day. I've kind of been there and got a hat and a t-shirt. So I kind of like to try different things. I'll carry the CZ-P10C. I'll carry the CZ-P07 with the comp. Because I do like the double action, single action. I like the single action. And I like the striker fire. I want to be more versed and trained and used to different types of guns. Meaning if I only carried a striker fire and I had to pick up somebody's single action and do some work, I would be familiar with it, or a double action, single action. That's just me. I like to rotate through those, so I'm just familiar with those. And I've got them all, so. Yeah, Lynn, especially now, I'm going to the range, and to be honest with you, I've been to the range probably 3 or 4 times, and I haven't shot one video. I'm going there. I'm not even putting up the camera. I'm going there with a purpose to shoot and practice. Especially with the limited ammo, or the ammo pricing. I don't have limited ammo, but you know what I mean. I'm going there to do the work. So, I even thought about just setting up the camera and then just shooting. However, I'm so used to talking to the camera that I'd probably turn around and start talking, and then I wouldn't pay attention to what I'm actually doing. Okay, Big Johnson, keep magazines loaded and ready or empty and stored? I keep them loaded. It's not going to damage them, because in order to damage a spring, it has to be cycled. Just because you load them and depress the spring, that is not working the spring. So as you work a spring with shooting it, loading it, unloading it, things like that, that's how you're working the spring. It's been proven many, many times that loaded magazines do not go bad. Now, on the old mag pulls way back in the day, if you kept them loaded, fully loaded to 30 rounds, the top of the feed lips could spread and you could have little cracks on each side. However, mag pull has changed that. Now, I run a lot of Lancers with the steel feed lips, and I've never had a problem on a Lancer. But I had some of my old mag pulls. I think they were like the Gen 1s or 2 or Gen 1s or something. I had a couple of them crack. And now they did replace them, though. Just picked up, let's see here. All right, Indy Irish just picked up the 19X with the PMM barrel and compensator and 15 mags. Lots of fun. Yeah, I love my 19X. It's it is my favorite Glock. Now mine's completely custom. It's all tricked out. It's molded to my hand. It's not the factory grip. I put my hand on it. He marked it all out and actually molded the sides and everything to fit my hand even better. And I love it. And it's heavily stippled, which I like. Super, super aggressive. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. The new MOS G43X without a plate but mounts lower from factory looks interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're in the mood for the 43X or the 48, I think that's, great for a lot of people. Definitely a good option. I'm just, and I've got the Shield, I've got the Shield 45, I've got the Shield 9, I've got, a lot of the smaller, thinner guns. I just really don't, with my hand size, because they're double XL, I don't find myself going to those guns. Now, I've carried them. Trust me, I've carried plenty of them, even carried the Shield as a backup gun. But I don't really spend a lot of time with them anymore. So if that gun fits your hand and that's what you like, hell, by all means, buy it. let's see here. Malcolm is saying, do you have a weapon light on your CZ P10C? If so, what light and holster setup? I have, and that's the light that I'm going to be talking about coming up in a video. So yes, I have carried it on a CZ P10C, and the holster setup is a hazmat. So it's called hazmat, and it's one of his holsters. And he makes that holster for the CZ P10C. He makes it 4 different lights. So I think he has 2 or 3 light options for it. All right, just Nebraska Gun Freak. Hello, sir. I don't recognize you here, but I appreciate you being here. Just bought a 2011 and a MPX, ready for competition this summer. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, 2011s are fun. What is your favorite 5.56 mag? For 300 blackout and 5.56, I am a pretty diehard Lancer fan. Lancer mags, I've had really, really good luck with them. With the steel feed lips, I've dropped them. I'm not the tactical guy. I don't claim to be, out there throwing mags and doing all that. But I have dropped some P mags before and taken like a little chip out of the polymer. Now it still worked, but I've taken like little chips out of the polymer. With the Lancer mags, I've dropped them in gravel, concrete on my porch or back patio. I've never bent one. I've dropped them loaded and unloaded. I did a video way back when showing that. I had them half loaded, and I've never had any of them fail. So I'm a big Lancer fan, and for, gosh, just a little bit more, you can get the steel feed lips. So some people are not Lancer fans. I've heard that too. So, but it just depends on what you like. And I've had really good luck with them. And they also offer, and I know Magpul does too, Lancer also offers 300 blackout mag. It's separate. So if you're running subs, because they're like 200 plus grain, they actually have one dedicated to 300 blackout. So it says 300 blackout on it. It's got an FDE floor plate. And it's designed to lift subs. So because on some of those 300 blackout mags, if they're too long or too heavy, sometimes it can jam up in a regular P mag. So that's what I run. Yeah, I remember Indy Irish. You sent that out and had it done. Oh, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, and if y'all are liking what you're hearing and stuff, hit that thumbs up. I definitely appreciate it. Big J, have you tried Hive's +5 PMAG extensions? If you've been following me for a long time, A-dubs, I've done a ton of testing on the Hive products way back when. For the Shield 9mm, Shield 45. Now they weren't the +5s. My +5 go-to are the Shield arms. I love them. They work great. And then Springer Precision. So for your CZs and things like that, for the P10F, because I run on my P10F, which holds 19 rounds plus 1 in the pipe, I have +5 extensions for my P10F, which is 25 rounds. And I've had super good luck with them. So those are my 2 for my +5 extensions. If you'll notice, and those Hive videos from Shield and stuff have a ton of views. However, the thing, and I'll just go ahead and say it right now, I did have failure with the Hives after a long, long time. Matter of fact, if you buy a Hive extension, they don't, on a lot of them, they do not send you the power spring. They want you to use your factory spring, and that is a failure point because you're overextending that factory spring, and over a period of time, it won't pick up correctly, and you will have some jams. So just being honest, I would definitely, sorry about that, I would definitely recommend a power spring for all of those. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:02. I'm about to shut this down, but I appreciate all of y'all sharing this evening with me. We will do this again next Wednesday. If you have any questions after the chat, please leave them. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you haven't, I appreciate that as well. Love the members, just past 15,000 family members and still growing. So I appreciate all y'all. I hope you have a great night. Again, if you have any questions, leave them afterwards. I'll try to answer them probably this evening. And I hope y'all are all safe out there. Stay well and have a great evening. Thanks, everyone. Carry on. Appreciate y'all. Thanks, Jay Harrow. Appreciate it. Y'all take care.